Isadora Moonrise pulled her first lungful of river salt air on 3 August 1998 inside a canvas birthing tent tied to an old sternwheeler parked on the tidal flats of Astoria, Oregon. Sea lions honked in the fog, and her mother, a bee poet slam singer who always slides pressed nasturtium petals into her notebook margins, riffed lullaby couplets while rocking the crate that served as a cradle. Her father, a coastal bar pilot who doodles sunset gradients on cafe napkins, bent so near their foreheads met and vowed that ties, trade winds, and trending opinions all scoop for anyone wide enough to own her silhouette. Curves meandered through the Moonrise family the way salmon wander upriver, so nobody panicked when baby Isadora blew apart her second cotton wrap before the gulls had finished their dawn gossip. Grandma Violet, wink snip, opened each seam with a bait knife, patched the gaps with scraps hacked from a sailbag, and said extra cloth costs a dime, but teaching a child to shrink can bankrupt her bravery forever. The kindergarten classrooms reeked of Elmer's glue, petrichor, and grilled cheese. Isadora already stretched taller and broader than her peers, blocking every projector throw whenever she recited tandem multiplication tables. During one soggy recess, 2 boys bounced around her chanting crab boat each time she landed on a hot box. After school, she combed the riverbank for soda caps, burnished mirror smooth, twisted an old fishing leader through the holes, stitched the jangling ribbon down her mint sweatshirt, and strolled into class next sunrise, trailing splinters of light across ceiling tiles. A volunteer music coach caught 7 seconds on an antique flip phone, posted the flicker to a new video patchwork called Clipstream, and by lunch, 15,000 strangers were clapping for the girl who flipped ridicule into river glitter. That night, Isadora wrote a single, Promise, in neon gel across her homework margin. Clouds close, ranks only until you flash them bright enough to scatter. Saturdays belonged to the Wharf Bazaar, where her mother's spoken word riffs tingled with the crackle of kettle corn, the grunt of crab claws, and the creak of weathered pilings. Store-bought jeans jammed mid-thigh, so Isadora traded tip jar quarters for unraveled gill net, tied a chunky macrame cord, loop-knitted high-rise culottes, misted albatross silhouettes with squid ink, and posed at sunset against rusty tug cleats, while her cousins snapped grainy photos. She tossed the shots into a diary called Tidal Lantern, the week a photo app seeped through patchy coastal service. Captions danced from Chinook jargon to candid English truths like, Curves corral storms better than jetty concrete. Before her 17th equinox, 55,000 unseen hearts were tapping, every amber-lit frame, proving that distant screens drown cafeteria sneers louder than any hall monitor's whistle. A fish hatchery scholarship hauled her inland to Portland State. Days frothed inside algae feed bioreactors. Nights belonged to a 24-hour banh mi truck glowing pink beneath a dripping maple. The warming lamp became her solo softbox. Between cilantro orders, she filmed 90-second reels, twisting papier-mâché sandwich wrap into foxglove barrettes, while translating dart rotation in a voice that mixed river hush and lecture spark. When reel layered harbor seal chat over a pocket synth beat, while her hands stitched reflective anchor rope into thrift-store denim, 48 hours later the clip reached 1 million plays. West Coast style blogs dubbed her the Banh Mi Couturiere, but sponsor emails flatlined at size 16. Isadora filed each one in a folder labeled shrinking nets, wiped sriracha mist from her cuff, and slapped another baguette on the grill. Marsh Storms delivered an email from Columbia Sportswear. They wanted a spray shell capsule called Estuary Pulse. She replied with 3 immovable points: extend the pattern block to 60-inch hips, hire at least half the crew from community college design programs, and funnel 10% of net profit into River Marsh eelgrass restoration. Columbia signed before dawn glowed coral. The chute unfurled at sunrise on a basalt spit where pelicans skimmed mirror flood swells. Isadora coached curvy kite surfers through silver light while a drone drew lazy loops overhead. When the lookbook went live, every extended size shell vaporized within 41 hours across 25 nations. Tidal Lantern vaulted beyond 700,000 followers. Still smelling of pickled daikon, she ducked behind flour sacks, balanced her phone on a chili bucket, and live-streamed tear-blurred thanks under buzzing neon. That's Why deserves a moment. If you want these rollouts landing before any algorithm tide change, tap the subscribe button right now. 1 click is free, it plants you in the front row, and it helps the channel grow tall enough for the next daring leap. Spotlight shimmer extracted rumor gulls, a gossip page claimed. Isadora cranked steel corsets beneath the Columbia chute. 2 mornings later, she paddled a cedar board beyond the break, stood easy in sports bra and fleece shorts, traced each stretch stripe with crushed fascia bougainvillea, and loosed a slam verse about body steering weather, not hiding from it. 10 million viewers reposted the rant, tagged bougainvillea proof, dusting pink across their own curves until gossip leaked out with the Bond Me wages, spliced with royalty checks and kneaded into Moonrise Glow, a whipped custard blending, spruce tip butter, huckleberry seed oil, and tiny mica sparks that flare pearl beneath phone flash. 19,000 tins rolled off her dad's dock shop bench, each lid knotted with crab pot line and stamped "Moisturize Your Horizon." Stock vanished in 82 minutes, netting $194,000. 20% seeded beacon grants, shipping industrial surgers, and field record kits to plus-size teens died from Coos Bay to Kodiak. 9 months later, 36 winners staged a floating fashion and well song caravan on a repurposed barge wrapped in LED willow branches, live streamed to breakfast tables from Reykjavik to Portland Fashion Week hammered new dockside legend when an overarm blower shredded her emerald mesh gown from rib to thigh in 90 seconds pre-curtain. She ripped neon tow rope from a coil, laced the gash like sneaker eyelets, and strode the runway as if the splice lived in every sketch. Shutters rattled like hail on tin. Vogue Cascadia hailed the rescue rope cadence, and another million lantern keepers arrived before the after-party's first batch dropped. Late spring brought sabotage notes. A fire liaison leaked, chopped emails claiming she demanded Dungeness sliders and chauffeured jet skis for her rescue otter Puddle. She posted the whole chain. Refillable water urns, vegan gumbo for crew, caption, screen for deaf stylist, then wired that month's affiliate earnings $136,000 into biodegradable crab pot trials off Tillamook Head. Fans echoed her harbor mantra, receipts shine brighter than rumor silt, until whispers sank beneath night tide. By solstice, tidal lantern glowed across 6.7 million Instagram hearts, 3.3 million real Voyagers, and 2 million Stet subscribers. Engagement flirting at 10%, sending brand planners back to unprinted spreadsheets. Cartier tapped her for a topaz surge reel inside Cape Mere's lighthouse lens. Isadora accepted after Cartier pledged therapy stipends for oyster deck crews rattled by freak squalls. The finished piece, her wrist scattering amber shards across iron ribs, became Cartier's most saved clip that quarter. Ellie stabilizes her compass. Twice a month, she streams strings and steam. Mom riffs blues runs on pedal steel beside a propane skillet. Dad mutters cloud haiku, and Isadora flips thrift denim under fairy bowls. One session peaked at 9 million when Puddle waddled across powdered sugar and sneezed a polar storm onto the mic. Now Marine Mammal Rescue sponsors each stream, tagging rehab otters with solar trackers funded by Moonrise Glow. Glow revenues shot past 12 million in 2 years. She leased a retired smokehouse, saw skylights into the corrugated tin, and hired furloughed longshore crews, plus design grass to whip and jar custard. Every tin is knotted by hand during midday, stretched dance breaks to fiddle house remixes. Consultants pressed for shrink bands. She quoted her mother's rule, fingertips preserve legends after robots forget, and rope ties stayed. Open-hearted mental health posts lace her feed. Lava Cove portraits pair with food truck selfies captioned "Same sky, different weather." She drops breath loops recorded in sea caves, offers worksheets in English and Chinook jargon, and shares half-price therapy codes. 109,000 followers call her Shoreline Honesty, their first calm harbor. Community rides flicker under crushed shell paint. Hundreds cruise the seawalk at dusk, wearing Moonrise Glow on collarbones and LED moon jelly tassels on spokes. Ticket proceeds pump beacon grants and install wheelchair snorkel lifts at basalt coves. Chowder shacks keep burners lit late because smoked salmon bowls jump 15% on ride nights. Isadora leads on a retro cruiser with Puddle plush bungees to the basket, halts to tie any rider's faltering shoelace. A memoir called Currents Keep Names is slated for 11 languages next spring, while a streaming crew shadows her plan to repurpose scrapped wave buoys as floating maker labs for coastal schools. Puma's Wide to Wave Lantern sneaker launches next quarter, threaded with reflective rope and cushion and algae foam, sending 10% of revenue into Beacon projects from Baja to Bering. Second, nudge drifts over the surf. If that subscribe button still shows red, flip it gray right now. It is your boarding pass to front row future waves. When this video winds down, scroll the description. You will find fresh Moonrise Glow restocks, Quick Lane Beacon grant applications, tonight's Strings and Steam playlist, and a discreet compass. A research-backed collection of conversation sparks and calm confidence drills, mapping the smartest route toward true love and, yes, the most infallible trick to make every woman feel that tug of intrigue. Free, friendly, delivered in one click. If the soda cap, spine rope, cadence gown save, or puddles, sugar sneeze brighten your evening, smash that like icon, share your loudest, splash in the comments, and toss this voyage to a friend who sails sag in still water. Every curve redirects currents, every scar refracts moonlight, and the Pacific bows to anyone who steps wide on the pier and greets tomorrow eyes open. Fast, soft breeze across your speakers. Subscribe now, claim your proud seat, and meet me on the next rising tide when a brand new story shimmers beyond the breakers and courage calls your name all over again.